Hey everybody, welcome to Grand Central Terminal. And on today's tour, we're going to be walking all the way up Park Avenue and making a left on 59th Street and going into Central Park. It's a beautiful Saturday here in New York City. The sun is finally out. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's take one quick look at the ceiling here. As you can see, my favorite thing about the ceiling is the bowl. We're currently at the Apple Store at Grand Central Terminal, which sits up here. But for now, let's head downstairs and walk out and pass by a few notable buildings that sit right on Park Avenue. I'd say the most exciting new development that has gone up on Park Avenue is 270 Park. And that is the brand new office tower of JP Morgan Chase. And it's almost fully complete, and it looks great. Now there's a few other new developments that are going up on Park Avenue that are planned. I would say the most exciting being 350 Park, which is going to be the Citadel office tower. Citadel Securities is a major quantitative hedge fund and a market maker on Wall Street. And they also have a brand new building going up in Brickell, Miami. Grand Central Terminal, you could also get the subway. You can get the 6 train and the 7 train, as well as the shuttle to Times Square. But of course, the main trains that run out of here is the Metro North, which will take you to upstate New York. You have the New Haven line, Stamford, Connecticut line. And most recently, the Long Island Railroad has completed the East Side Access Project, which brings the LIRR from Long Island to the east side of Manhattan, right here at Grand Central Madison. Now, prior to that, if you were a Long Islander like myself, you would have to go all the way into Penn Station, which is on 34th Street and 7th Avenue. So let's say if you lived on Long Island, but you worked on Park Avenue or on the east side of Manhattan, well, you'd have to get off the train all the way on the west side of Midtown and take the subway all the way back up to 42nd Street and then take the shuttle or the 7 train to Grand Central on the east side. Anyway, we have a beautiful view of the Chrysler Building here. Finally sunny out after 9 straight days of rain, pretty much. We're going to be making a left here. This is 1 Vanderbilt. This is one of the newest Class A office towers in Manhattan. And this is the main entrance to the offices. If you go on the other side, you'll see the entrance to the Centurion Lounge, which you also have a new entrance to the subway and Grand Central Station. I always recommend going here. This is the Campbell Bar, or Campbell Apartments. It's 15 Vanderbilt Avenue. It's probably one of the most beautiful and stunning bars in the city. Looking up, we have the MetLife building. This is the corner of East 43rd Street. Back in the day, this used to be a kind of like a valet for vehicles. I think after 9/11 they closed this down, but you used to be able to take a cab and get off right here and then go in and get your train at Grand Central Station. Now the building perfectly centered in the frame, that's 270 Park, which is almost complete. And as we've stated before, that's going to be the new headquarters of JP Morgan Chase in New York City. It's a really amazing building. We're going to do a quick lap around the perimeter of the building, and then we'll get back on Park Avenue. On the corner of East 44th Street and Vanderbilt, this is the Yale Club. Unfortunately, it is covered in scaffolding. You'll notice that a lot about these pre-war buildings in Manhattan due to the regulations and the mandatory facade restoration. Most of these buildings are totally covered in scaffolding, which is a little bit of a bummer. It's obviously not aesthetically pleasing, but it is for safety. Now, the corner of East 45th Street, this is the Roosevelt Hotel, which was recently made famous due to the migrant crisis in New York. This is where the vast majority of the migrants first arrived to New York City, in this building right here. Park Avenue is usually pretty dead during the weekend, especially in between 42nd Street and 59th Street, because it's mainly offices. But once you go north of 59th Street, you have a lot of co-ops on the Upper East Side, in which case it's very residential. See here, this is the main front entrance to the Roosevelt Hotel. We'll check it out because I haven't been here in a long time, and I heard rumors that they're going to shut it down. I just don't know if that's the truth yet, but this is one of the largest migrant intake centers in the city. There's another one that sits right on 8th Avenue, just north of the Port Authority bus terminal. Here's one of the main entrances. You also have one in the back. We'll head northbound now. This is Madison. And we'll check out the construction site of 270 Park. And then we'll merge back onto Park Avenue. Now, one of the things we talked about before is the very bifurcated office market in New York, right? So oftentimes you'll hear talk about the commercial real estate market in New York being of a very negative context. However, that only kind of tells part of the story, because if you look at the Class A office towers, they're actually doing very well. And their net new leases are breaking records in terms of price per square foot for the lease. You know, some leases have been going for $200, $250 per foot, which is really record-breaking stuff. And companies are leaving old Class B and Class C office towers for newer product, particularly a lot of the ones on Park Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. 425 Park is another Class A office tower, which is the temporary home to Citadel. That is also one of the most eco-friendly buildings in the world. But look at how interesting the facade is here. It is really a massive building, 270 Park. We're now walking eastbound, and we're going to go to the corner of Park Avenue. You'll be able to see I would say the side entrance and the main entrance a little bit better at 270. Much, much different than many of the offices that many people are used to. You can see just the grand ceiling heights. This is almost going to be like an open atrium here. There's going to be places to eat. The main elevator banks to the left, and this big grand staircase going up. Can't wait till they take down all the construction barricades here, because this is going to be a significantly expanded sidewalk. It's also a very interesting design, as the facade of the building almost cantilevers over the street. It's pretty impressive. And if we zoom up, those are going to be the main front doors. Okay, we're now on Park Avenue officially. If I turn the camera to the right, this is headed southbound. You're going to see the main on-ramps to Grand Central Terminal, but this is the Hemsley building. And you'll also be able to see the spire of One Vanderbilt to the right. If you want a very peaceful and quiet walk in the city on the weekends, go to Park Avenue. As I've said before, 42nd Street to 59th Street is almost exclusively office towers. there's gonna be very, very low foot traffic. Here's a better look at the facade of 270 Park here. You can kind of see a little bit of a diamond shape on the side. Many people allege that Jamie Dimon kind of had a little bit of a say in the architectural structure, being that his last name is Dimon, a little bit of play on words there. I don't know if that's true. But it's definitely a very cool building, architecturally speaking. And this is 47th Street and Park. Now, if you look all the way up in the distance, this is one of the most exclusive and luxurious residential apartment buildings in the city. It is 432 Park Avenue. The developer is Harry Maclow, and the architect on the project was Raphael Vinoli. Many people don't know this, but Raphael Vinoli unfortunately passed away, and his first major project in New York City was the John Jay College of Criminal Justice, which just happens to be my alma mater. And that was his main first break as an architect in New York City, working on CUNY John Jay College. And now, before his passing, he went on to be on some of the most exclusive and well-renowned projects in New York. And as you can see here, we can still see 270 Park. The building is so massive, it takes up an entire city block. You can also see the spire of One Vanderbilt in the distance as we look back. If you look close, you can see the edge, or excuse me, the summit at One Vanderbilt, which is their observation deck. Now, this building we're coming up on now, East 49th Street and Park, this is actually a new development, but the building has been here forever. It is the Waldorf Astoria Park Avenue that has undergone extensive and a full gut renovation, and you're actually able to purchase condo units in the building now. It's very, very impressive. So if you're interested in it, it sits on East 49th Street and Park Avenue. The beautiful Art Deco clad facade of the Waldorf Astoria. Now, the Waldorf Astoria is also making big moves in South Florida, in Miami, with the Waldorf Astoria residences in downtown Miami, which is going to be the tallest building south of the World Trade Center. Here you can see Waldorf Astoria residences. The sales gallery is at 305 Park Avenue. We'll cross the street to the other side of Park so you can see the facade a little bit better. right, we're now looking at the main entrance of the Waldorf Astoria. Really great building. And hopefully it'll make Park Avenue feel a little bit more alive during the weekend. If we were to make a left here on East 50th Street and walk over to Madison Avenue, we'll be right in front of the Lotte New York Palace, which has one of the most beautiful Christmas displays during the holidays in the courtyard. This is the Raymond James to the left. Now we're about to come up on one of my favorite office buildings in the city, which is the Seagram building. Across the street you can see Blackstone, which is Stephen Schwartzman's company. Many people get the two confused, Blackstone and BlackRock. Blackstone and BlackRock used to be one company, but BlackRock spun off of Blackstone, and now Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, which is the largest asset manager in the world. I believe they manage about $11 trillion worth of assets now. And here you have the Seagram building. (52nd Street). We'll make a right here. And we'll check out 425 Park Avenue. Okay, in between 52nd and 53rd Street, this is the Seagram building. And a great view of 432 Park Avenue. .375 Park. This is one of my favorite buildings in the city. Mainly because they built it so far back from the street, so you can see these great views of Manhattan. Again, there's 270 Park Avenue. Really fantastic. So many of these super tall buildings in New York, like 432 Park, they have something at the top called a mass damper. So Central Park Tower, 157, 432 Park Avenue, they're so tall and so skinny that they have to have a several ton mass damper at the top to act as a counterbalance so the building doesn't fall over. Now this building that you see here to your right, this is one of the most state-of-the-art office towers in the world. 425 Park Avenue. This thing is really, really impressive. Whoa, hopefully everything's okay. I think we have some folks calling 911 here for this gentleman. Unfortunately, there's a lot of homeless that potentially overdose on fentanyl. But it looks like we have a bus coming for this gentleman. I think they're good. Yeah, they've called the ambulance. Let me just triple check. Yeah, they are. Hopefully everybody's all right. It's unfortunate. Now, this building that you see in front of us, this is 520 Park. This is one of the most exclusive buildings in New York as well. It's a condo building. And it has the characteristics of the Billionaires Row style buildings. Here's the main entrance of 425. And then this is the retail at 432 Park Avenue. You can see the Phillips auction house. And this will give you a glimpse of just how tall this building is. We actually just filmed a property tour inside 432 Park, Unit 50B. You can go ahead and check it out on our channel. It's on the market for $45,000 per month for rent. If you're interested in it, please let me know. Now this building on the corner of 57th Street, excuse me, this is the Four Seasons New York that just reopened. You could even purchase condo units in there now. But this is officially New York City's Billionaires Row. You could see the Steinway Tower, which is 111 West 57th Street. You could see 157 and Central Park Tower. This is the Aston Martin showroom. You can see the facade of 425 Park a little bit better over here. We'll wait to cross Park Avenue to the north side, and we're going to go up to 59th Street. And cross over to Central Park. This is the Korean consulate here. And now we're going to run into a lot of the co-ops. This is now West 58th Street. You can see a little bit of the Plaza Hotel in the distance. Very quiet and relaxing here. This is now 59th Street. We're going to make a left. And you'll be able to see the spire of the Sherry Netherland Hotel. Let's cross the street to avoid the scaffolding. Can't stand walking under scaffolding. And here you see the Plaza Hotel. And Central Park Tower. Central Park Tower and 157 were both built by the same developer, which is Xtel. And if I turn the camera a little bit towards the sky, you'll see the GM building. This is now a great shot of Steinway Tower, which is 111 West 57th Street, developed by JDS. And they just put the quadplex on the market, so the top fourth floor penthouse. It's going for over $100 million. And then you have the spire of 157 just off to the right, and then the spire of Central Park Tower. Now, Central Park Tower is the tallest at 1,550 feet tall. And then, of course, you have the Plaza Hotel. Something interesting a lot of people don't know is this building just off to the right with all the scaffolding. This is 5 East 59th Street, and this was the old Playboy Club in New York. Now, the previous owner got into some financial trouble. They had about $85 million worth of bad debt on the property, and it just sold last year in foreclosure auction for, I think, $23 million to AVE and Co. And this is going to be a new jewelry store. Now, before, it was 2 retail units on the bottom and 8 offices. We actually bid on this building as well. And our view for the building was to have 2 retail, 8 office, and then put condo dwellings on top, which is an amazing location. So, I mean, they're going to do really, really well. Being able to get this building right here next to the Sherry Netherland, right next to Central Park, right off of 5th Avenue for, you know, $23 million bucks. That is a steal of a building. All right, now this is outside the GM building. This is the main Apple store at 5th Avenue. And then this is the entrance to Central Park. You could also see Extel's new project on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, which is a great building. And just to the left is 15 Central Park West, 1 Central Park West, and then the Deutsche Bank centers. See if I could take you guys down into the Apple store. So you kind of have this spiral staircase. As the core of the building. And then you can see down to all the products. You have the Apple Vision Pro. We'll do one quick lap around and then we'll head out. Now, at one point, Harry Macklowe owned this building too. It's a really unique design.
I'm not sure if we would be able to.
10 more seconds. 10 more seconds.
Right over that table, for a new MacBook Air, do you mind helping him?
3, 2, 1. All right, pencils in the air. Let's see all the pencils in the air. Wave it like you just don't care. Your parents will get that reference. You won't. Okay, awesome. Now take that pencil and you're gonna.
And you can
clip
see
it
the
onto your
skylights
iPad.
too, where you could
And
look
then
down
look
from
into
above.
the air.
Let's head out.
All right. We are going to do our very first Fifth Avenue art gallery. So on the count of 3, I want you to take your hands out of the air, grab your iPad, and hold it up so that everyone can see the bed that you made behind this hat. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's see.
Okay. You're back right here at the Sherry Netherland Hotel. And this is looking straight down 5th. You can see the top of the Crown Building as well, which is the Amman, New York. Okay, and we have made it to Central Park. If you guys enjoyed that video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more New York City walking tours. We'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for joining.